Holmes! Holmes, will you stop that? You are utterly mad. Stop, Holmes!
Is that you,
Oh,
Watson?
Watson.
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate.
Oh, confident step, clicking handcuffs. Policeman. 9th step avoided. Inspector Lestrade.
Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's
Hello.
a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're
Yes.
out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only
No.
sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The Medi men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone then.
So be it. Farewell, gentlemen.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
Yes. I see you there, Inspector. I shall be joining you very shortly. Stone pathway. Land around stone pathway. Footprints. Intriguing.
These footprints appear to be quite large. It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Yes, very good. Very good indeed.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective.
Hello there.
No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
Very well.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Now let's see here. I've got an interesting little necklace here. A cameo. Very interesting. Oh, a Catholic rosary. Yes, very interesting. Gardening gloves. And a crested tit. Indeed. A birdhouse. Alright, miss.
Madam,
Madam,
can you tell me if
yeah.
you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
I see. What about the evening before the murder?
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Yes. And, when was the body found?
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
Yes, indeed. Did he have, visitors?
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
By chance?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
Yes, very good. Is there a gardener that works here?
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
All right, well, everything will become easier, miss.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different,
Yes.
wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Well, of course, the rosary on your hand there. No? Well, what else could it be?
You have indeed suffered a... He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return?
And it landed on Plymouth Rock.
Yes, Mr.
Plymouth Rock would
Oh,
land
my goodness, but how do you know
on
about
them. Oh. Where was that option hidden? I swear to you, I didn't see that option before. Of course, you took your pilgrimage, Mrs. Carey, or whatever.
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That
Yes.
much is evident from the rosary in your hand.
The rosary that I tried to mention, but I did not have a direct option to mention it, even though I already saw it.
That you met Peter
But
Carey
that's all right.
as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
that? Is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Indeed.
Thank you, madam.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
I see. Very good, Inspector. Let us see the crime scene.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Good thinking.
Of course.
Hello.
What is it? Gustave?
Yes.
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see.
How very peculiar. A door lock. Scratches.
These scratches are fresh.
Someone tried to scratch the door open. A house cat, perhaps.
You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Now, a mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
Yes. Open the door, please. Oh.
What a terrible way to die.
Good heavens. How terribly awful.
This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong.
Now I know why they call him the Woodman's Lee.
Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer.
Indeed. There's a pool of blood with a sea knife lying next to it.
This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body.
Yes, that is what I just said.
This wooden handle is plain and solid. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed.
He brought a knife to a harpoon fight. He did not win. J.H.N.
J.H.N. are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
Indeed.
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey.
How very odd indeed. There's also blood on the papers. Let us open the notebook, shall we? ASM-TI-BRSOMTI-KKCO-LWPOTQE.
These abbreviations mean something, but what?
Interesting.
Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon.
Yes. Indeed. He was indeed. Alright. Oh. Are we missing something else here? Is there something...
The
Oh.
weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense.
Indeed. Very good, Sherlock. Very astute. Now, a tobacco pouch with the initials PC.
The initials PC have been crudely burned.
Yes.
Sailor's work.
Peter Carey, perhaps? Or perhaps not. Only time will tell. Oh.
This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
Yes, of course. Yes.
This is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
Yes, quite, yes. Very good.
Someone drank from this glass recently.
Yes.
Rum, a sailor's drink. It seems that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
Yes. His last drink, perhaps, as one might call it. A wooden chest. What treasures does the chest hold?
Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting.
Oh. There are no treasures here. Peter Carey's boots.
They look to be a size 8.
Not large, but still above average,
The murder weapon was
perhaps.
probably taken from this rack.
Yes, indeed.
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
Yes, of course. Very good. Shelf. Suspiciously empty space. Outlined in the dust.
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. A box or a small chest, perhaps.
Perhaps, yes. Who could have done this? Probably the same person who did this. Yes, very good. Map.
Hammerfest.
Yes.
Dundee.
Dundee.
It's a whaling map.
Yes, very good. It's a whaling map. Is there anything else on the shelf?
The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches.
Yes, very good. Alright.
Have
Inspector?
you finished inspecting the crime scene?
Yes, I think so. Alright. Now let's see here. Several unsuccessful attempts were made to break in, according to the scratches around the lock. A leather notebook with the initials JHN were found on the crime scene, stained with blood, which indicates that it was dropped onto the pool of blood after the murder. Then that means an ambush must be made tonight to see if the break-in attempt will be repeated. There we are.
Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
Inspector, we need to organize an
Well,
ambush.
Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think
We
that
need
are
to
lucky
organize an ambush.
Why is that?
because of
We
last
need to
night's attempted break-in.
organize an ambush.
Oof, you've lost me.
It is
We
very
need to
probable that whoever
organize
came
an
here hoped
ambush.
to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What
Yes.
will they do? Why return tonight, when they will be better prepared?
Aha. So what do you propose?
We
We
shall remain on
need
the
to
outside
organize an
room,
ambush,
where we stand the
Inspector.
best chance of catching
That is
sight of our visitor.
what I'm
Well,
proposing.
gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
We have an ambush to organize. Oh. Ready your pistols, gentlemen. I shall go
I
back.
cannot leave yet.
Oh.
I am not finished here.
Very well. So be it. I will sit here and organize the ambush. Right here.
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
Yes, very good. Be quiet, Inspector. We are preparing for an ambush. Oh,
Shh. Did you hear that?
yes. Be quiet. Shh.
There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there.
Hey, what's going on here? Who is this
All right, my
fella?
fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? And what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your
Yes.
name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but
We have
I didn't-
organized an ambush,
you
you
deny that
see.
you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't! I'm not... It's a terrible mistake!
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But...
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector.
Of course,
But
Inspector.
please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
Here we are. Nelligan's belongings.
These are the suspect's belongings.
Yes.
A handkerchief with the initials JHN.
And a notebook with the initials
The
JHN.
notebook that we found on Peter Carey's cabin floor.
Indeed. A ring. From R. Dawson.
From R. Dawson.
Yes. To my friend and partner.
And partner.
1883.
Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer.
Dawson, yes, very good.
A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin.
Yes, indeed. Alright. Let's see what the young man has to say for himself. There we are. John Lelligan. I have some questions for you, young man. A hat. A shabby cap. Yes. A shabby cap for a shabby young lad. A patch. Oh. I thought I saw something here. A thin neck. Yes. Indeed. Short sleeves. Callous. Scars. And thin neck again. Back to the shabby cap again. Yes, very good, very good. What else? What other secrets are you hiding? Expensive fabric. Yes, it does look very expensive indeed, yes. Very good. And there's something else you're hiding. I've yet to find out exactly what. Shabby cap, patch, thin neck, expensive fabric. Oh, the button. Elaborate buttons. Well, dear boy. You are quite the character.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
I see. Then why does it have the name Dawson on it?
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly
Yes.
in any position to receive such an item from a partner.
That too, yes. So, who is it?
So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
I see. But what about the ring's engravings? It has...
So, Mr. Nelligan,
The ring is mine.
Is it your father's ring?
no, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Yes.
But how do you know?
The jacket you
Because
are
you're wearing
is
his
made of
jacket.
an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore,
No.
the garment is ill-fitting.
You do not smell
It is
like a
quite
rich
clear
man
that it
either.
belonged to someone else. Most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Indeed. So,
Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes. But where did you find it? I did not know... I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh, no. I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan.
I always do.
The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Please, let me...
Yes. You might not have killed Mr. Carey, but you are certainly killing my time. Oh, Dawson and Nelligan are bankrupt. The Dawson and Nelligan Investment Fund, a regional banking institution based in Cornwall, has declared bankruptcy as a result of heavy losses in its loan portfolio, and has accordingly been assigned for liquidation. It was the 23rd largest bank in Britain, and its bankruptcy was the second largest on record. The liquidation of company is a pure catastrophe for many Cornwall families. Joshua Nelligan, one of the bankers, has since mysteriously disappeared. He was last seen aboard his yacht, preparing for departure to Norway. Nelligan is wanted both by the police and his creditors.
Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him.
All right. To Scotland Yard. Hello again, Mr. Nelligan.
I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes, Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am
Indeed.
aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
Yes.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht, just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan.
I see.
At last, we are making some progress. Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
Yes.